All right, I got a big package in the mail. Mike over at Mike's Radio Repair had sent in a box before with a bunch of parts that we used for chip of the days and other things. Sent me a nice care package. Well, he sent me the second care package. I don't know if I'm on the install plan or he's got too much stuff. He's trying to clean out his garage, so it ends up in my garage. But you can see this big box. It's about 2 feet by 2 feet by 1 foot. So yeah, it's chock full of stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the box as I found it, and we'll just start reaching in the box and pulling things out. And I think there's some really nice things down at the bottom that we will get to eventually, but we'll just work our way through it from time to time. And today we're going to be taking a look at these things. So what's on the bench? Chip of the day. These are Hewlett-Packard LEDs. And these have some handwriting on them, which is really interesting. HLMP 2755. Now, I immediately gravitated towards these because I need to tell you a story. So yeah, so this is the Hewlett-Packard lamp line. LMP is lamp, and lamp was just an LED. That's what we called them, the lamps. And so there were displays that actually told you information. And then there were things that just lit up, and those were called lamps. So this is the lamp line. And my very first job after graduating from college was to work for Hewlett-Packard's LED division that built these things. Now these say made in Malaysia. Now when it says made in Malaysia, that's actually a specific place. It was in Penang, Malaysia. Penang is a small island off the west coast of the Malaysian peninsula. And it's kind of a nice little island. There are some resort hotels on the northern side, northeastern side of the island. The Rasa Sayan. There's the Batu Ferringhi. So Ferringhis of Star Trek fame, the name comes from there. There's a batik, dyed linens and stuff from that area. Anyway, I spent a lot of time there. I must have spent at least 3 months there from time to time. I remember one trip that I had to Malaysia was a 5-week trip. Usually they were like 3-week trips, 2 to 3 week trips. Yeah, shout out to all my friends that are still working over there. When I first went back in the early 1980s, the HP's manufacturing site was across the street from the Snake Temple. So if you know where the Snake Temple is, we were directly across the street, and there was rock and roll music blasting in the speakers, and yeah. Anyway, long time ago. So let's take a look at these things. Let's pull one of these out. So these are kind of indicator things. They are 4 LEDs under a diffuser, so you can light the whole thing up. And you could probably put maybe a plastic film over the top of this, like your front panel, and these would backlight a annunciator. You could have letters that were backlit. But yeah, let's light one up. Okay, I'm going to use my old machine here. I haven't seen it in a while, have we? The reason I grabbed it is because I have a little area down here for testing LEDs. These are just a bunch of pull-up resistors. So I can just jam the part in here. Now every single pin has a pull-up resistor to 5 volts. And if I reach in with ground, I can just find things that light up. So yeah, there's one that's lit up. That doesn't light up. No. Yep, there we go. Those two. So maybe we can keep these two lit up. So there we go. We can light those two. And then you can just kind of reach around and find all the other pins that actually do stuff. So just a quick little gizmo that I have wired up here that I use from time to time. There's one. There's one. And there's probably one here on the end if the pinout is the same. Yeah, there's one there. So anyway, the LEDs back from those days are not going to be very bright. LED technology has gone a long way since 1983. Wow, this might have been built while I was there. While I was over there, they may have built this thing. Isn't that cool? All right, that's a red one. And let's take a look at some of the other ones that, that Mike sent. We have green ones that look the same shape. Here's some that are a different shape. These are yellow. Okay, let's look at one of these. So these were 8 LEDs. These are only 4 LEDs, so these are smaller ones. Let's pop one of those in. Yeah. Oh, these are yellow. Okay. And if I poke the right things, you can see they light up. So yeah, this one's yellow. Very cool. Oops. Yeah. Wow. These seem to be a little younger. These seem to be 1990. Okay. And here's some that are green. And here's some that are yellow, big ones. Yeah, so anyway, these are super cool. In the package, Mike had put in the actual data sheet for these things too. Now, Hewlett-Packard had split in about 5 different directions. Part of it became Avago. I don't know if Avago is still around or not, but yeah, Avago took over the LED line. I don't know if they still make these or not. I don't know if they got sold off to another company. I don't know where the LED group finally ended up. I don't know if they were at Broadcom, or I don't know where they are these days, but they are somewhere. The company got split a few times and purchased a few times, and yeah, it kind of went south. But anyway, yeah, made in Malaysia, in Penang. All right, I noticed one thing. I know this is going to be a dumb video, but I noticed another thing here that I wanted to talk about. Category F bin 4. Now, what does that mean? This one is Category E bin 2, all right? And I don't know which is which, but one is the color and one is the brightness, all right? This is Category C bin 3. So this is green, this is yellow, this is... Yeah, let's see what category red is. That might be a good red. Category E. Okay, no bin number. Here's another category E. These are yellows. So yeah. So maybe it's specific to the part too. Anyway, one of them is color and one of them is intensity for a particular unit. And the reason that I was in Malaysia for five weeks was that I had built a piece of automatic test equipment that would automatically grab these guys and test it for intensity and color. And then depending on how bright it was and what color it was, it would then sort them and put them into a bucket. And there was like 20 buckets, and it could drop the LED into one of 20 different buckets, and you would categorize these things. So why do you want to do that? Well, it's because if you bought 2 of these and you put them side by side and they didn't look the same, people would be upset. So if you wanted to have a bunch of them that were exactly the same color, you would make sure that you bought the same one each time. So if you had purchased an E2 in the past and you needed to replace some, you needed another E2 to go with it. So yeah, that was my claim to fame, building these pieces of automatic test equipment. They were embedded microcontrollers. I had an 8085 in them to do all the smarts and stuff, but yeah, back in the old days.